If you have a car that's in your blind spot and they've put the blind spot on the LED, when I engage FSD, you're going to see those lights on the side. They're actually going to start changing color. And in sports mode, so the more you press down on the accelerator, the more red light you get. This piece right here is what we actually need. It plugs in just like this. Like I said, if you've not done this before, it's actually a lot easier than it looks. Yeah, I wish Tesla would pick up the idea from it. I do believe that is absolutely needed. All right, so here we have the kit, and mostly of what it's consisting of is this LED light strip, which we're going to put underneath our Alcantara dash. If you have a launch series, or if you don't have a launch series Juniper, then it's just going to be underneath the plastic dash. It also works like that in the Model 3 as well. You can see it has 3M double-sided tape here. We're going to tape it to the underside of our dash. If you have not removed your dash before, the small piece on top, it takes a little bit of doing. Be sure to use some trim tools with it so that you don't ruin anything. Don't catch your air vents. Be sure you're actually pulling up on the actual dash itself. So that's what I'm going to do here, and we're going to fish this through, and it's actually going to go down into the side panel down here in the car on the passenger side. It's actually a lot easier than it looks. So let's go ahead and get to it now and see how to get it installed. All right, so the first thing we're going to do, I'm going to go ahead and remove our trim pieces that we need to pull. Like I said, if you've not done this before, this is very hard to pull up out of these clips. Be sure you don't catch your vents right here. Don't mistake your vents for places where you pry, please. These clips come out of these holes right here. And this is as far as you need to come. You don't need to do any more than this. It works like this on the Juniper, and it works like this on the 3 as well. The second thing that we're going to take off is this side panel right here. So we're going to stick our pry tool in there, and we're going to pull the clips out. There we go. There we go. I'll pull that out. We're going to open this up, pull this piece off just like that, and we're going to set it aside. Then we have a clip that we're going to remove. This clip right here, this one right here. And it's one of those safety clips. So we just need to start it out just like that. Get our trim tool right around there. There we go. We're going to pull that pin. That pin comes out, and we're going to set it aside for now. From here, this whole thing can now pull, and we're just going to pull straight back on it, and you'll hear the clips come loose as we pull on it. And we just need access right down here at the bottom. And this whole thing will be able to come up. Got clips down here too. There we go. That's what we need right there. This is okay, so there's a difference between this and the installation video. This piece right here is what we actually need. This is our ODM port here. And we're going to use a pass-through that comes in the kit that we're going to plug into this right here. In the installation video, I believe it's located somewhere down here, but in here, in the Juniper, this is where the port's located. So it's in a slightly different place. Don't be freaked out by it. So here's our ODB pass-through that we're going to connect down into the ODB port. We're going to plug this port right into the empty port, into the female port. And it gives us an extra female port here. This is for any other accessory that you may wish to plug in later. So this one is going to be left empty. This is the part we're going to plug into. And then there's another pass-through for the power here, which I'll show you where that goes in just a moment. So let's go ahead and plug it into the ODB port. I'm going to go ahead and plug this in just like this. You hear it click. That way you know it's in. Like I said, this part is going to stay open. That's for future use if we have it. So we're just going to tuck it away someplace back here. This part, however, we're going to put right here. This is the power pass-through. So we're going to press this clip down and then pull this out. We're going to plug it into our pass-through here, just like that. And then we plug the whole thing in right here. Now that we've done that, you can see our control module. Well, it was lit up there just a moment ago. We're going to go ahead and test the lights out. You see this USB-C module here. We're going to go ahead and plug our lights in and test it out. So this is the USB-C cord that came with the kit. It plugs in just like this. And eventually it's going to run up to our LED strip. And we can see our LED strip is lit up. So we know our LED strip actually works. So we're just going to go ahead and unplug that. Now that we have tested out our LED strip, now all we have to do is take our USB-C cord that we plugged in, and we have to run it up to the dash. But in order to do that, we need to use our fishing line first. And this is a little bit of a tricky part. I'll try to give you a step-by-step on this in order to make it as easy as possible on you on this one. Once we have our dash up, if you look over here, you see here are your vents. There's a vent here and there's a vent right here. On the second vent, there's a little gap. In this gap, it's going to be, I don't even think I can show you on camera. But what we're going to do, we're going to run this wire and it's going to go through here and it's going to go down and it's going to come out here. And in order to do that, if you follow exactly where I bring this piece of plastic strip, you'll understand how to put it down. So I'm going to go parallel to the dash and to the side, and I'm going to push down on the strip. I don't have to shove it. There should be a gap there. You're just going to feel for the gap. When you hit the gap, you know you've got it right. And you just push down into the gap. There should be little to no resistance. Yep, that's it. Got it. You can see where it comes out over here. Quite frankly, it takes a little practice doing this. But I promise you, there is a hole for it to go through. You just got to make sure you go sideways. You don't have to force it, but you do have to feel your way around. So if you mostly go lateral here, you'll be able to do it. So what we're going to do, we're going to take this, and we're going to take a little bit of tape the wire off, and we're going to pull it back through. So we're going to take the end of our cord with the USB-C, and we're going to tie it to our fish line here. Won't take much because this is a really short run for it. And then we just pull it back through. There we go. There's our cable. With LEDs, we want to get it lined up center. So in order to do that, for the Model Y Juniper, you really want to put it right here on the lip. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to see the LEDs. The trick is, though, we need to get it even. In order to get it even, we're going to stretch our LED strip out here just like this. And so what I want to do is be able to measure this from each side, each edge. Because I see I got about an inch right here from the edge here. And I can go to the other side and see about what it looks like. So I'm going to take this down right here, just temporarily, so I can go to the other side of the vehicle and make sure that the distances are okay. They recommend not taking this whole thing off, but you know what? I'm kind of thinking it might be better if I do. Because right now, my fingers are too big to get in here. There we go. Now we can stretch this thing out. That could look about right. A little bit about an inch on that side. I got about an inch on this side. I think I may have gotten this right the first go around. So now what we're going to do, now that that's done, now we've got to measure. I'm going to go ahead and remove the double-sided tape here. There we go. Well, take that off. I'm going to get it started, okay? And then I'm going to lie it down. I have it taped at the other end. Got it where we want it. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to put that down right at the edge here. And I want to stretch this thing out as I go. Pulling the tape and pressing with my other finger down into position. This is why I loosened it up on this side so I can get my finger underneath here. All right, so we've got our strip installed. We did the two-sided tape. So now all that's left done is to hide the wires and put it all back together. One of the things I'm going to do is take this wire. I'm actually going to pull it back through. I'm going to hide mines just like this behind the Alcantara dash. So it's going to go around and behind. Make sure the latches don't pinch it. And all you're going to do is push down on it. And that's all there is to it. To hide the rest of this, we're just going to put it down here in the well. And then we're going to put our trim back in place where it was. Keep in mind, we're going to have to move our trim. We just push this back down in here. I'm sorry, we have to redo our weather stripping here. You got to get it out of the way for everything to set in place correctly. There we go. Now we can put all of this back into place. All right, we're pushing the pin back in. All right, there we go. Got our panel back on. Now, a few things that you should know before you go ahead and activate it, because right now we're going to show you how to actually utilize them and show you what everything means. While the vehicle is stopped or in park, that's when you get to set the options. Now, the way that you do it, you would take the right scroll wheel on the steering wheel and you just rotate it up and down. What that will do is change the colors of the LED strip. Now, if you keep going, like if I keep going to when it goes black, now that the LED strip is black, they're not turned off per se, but it's in what's known as sports mode. And in sports mode, it'll show a red light which is currently hidden behind the screen. And that red light basically shows how far you have the accelerator pressed down. So the more you press down on the accelerator, the more red light you get. So that's what it does in sports mode. Otherwise it stays blank. That's number one. Number two, when you first install it, it should already be set for Model Y Juniper, but just in case it isn't. Now, quite frankly, I have not found the practical use of this because I haven't seen any difference. But if you press and hold the right scroll wheel, you'll get the LED strip flashing, just like this. Hold it for a few seconds and then let it go. And you'll get this symbol occur. And what that means, it just swapped from Model Y Juniper mode to Model 3 Highland. What's the difference? I don't know. I have not really been able to see a real difference in the way that it acts or in the way that it works. And I couldn't tell you which one is better, but supposedly that's what it is. But like I said, to change the different colors, you would just actually scroll the right scroll wheel. There is a little bit of a delay, so you just have to be patient with it. Other than that, what you also need to know is how to dim the lights. Now, I've taken this up with some of the vendors about this because I personally believe the lights are a little too bright. The way that you dim the lights is not through any control, but believe it or not, it's tied to the screen brightness. So you're gonna go here to the display, and right now I have it set at 10%, but you just gotta take that down to 0%, which dims the light, which is great, but now the screen is more dim than what I personally enjoy. I don't think that's the best way to do it. I think it should be tied to the accent lights personally, and that way it would match the accent lights, but for right now, that's not how it operates. It's currently tied to the screen brightness. Now, having said that, let's look at the light strip itself. On each side of the strip, there are colored lights that will change on the side of the strip depending on what's happening with the vehicle at any given moment. For instance, if I turn my right turn signal on, you're gonna see the right side of the strip blink green to let you know that it's turning. And the same thing goes with the left turn signal. If I hit the left turn signal, the left side comes on. If you have a car that's in your blind spot, normally what would happen is that you have a red light in the speaker. Well, that's kind of hard to see, truth be told. So what they've done, they've put the blind spot on the LED light strip, and it's actually going to turn amber when you have somebody in your blind spot. And if you turn on your signal while somebody's there, it will turn and start blinking red. Also, when you get out of the car and there's a car approaching and you open the door, the light strip will also turn red as well. I don't think we're going to be able to demonstrate that, but the other stuff I'll be able to show you here in just a moment. So those are the highlights of the strip. Also, one other thing, if you do happen to exceed the speed limit on the vehicle, say for instance, the speed limit on the vehicle is set to 85 miles per hour, it normally sends you a warning if that's set. In this case, the light strip will start flashing red at you. So that's a feature. It's nice, but I think it's a very useful strip. I think it works really, really well. I do believe that is absolutely needed. I wish Tesla would pick up the idea from it and start incorporating it into the vehicle. But moreover, I also wish that the vendors would actually tie the brightness of the light strip to the accent lights. Not only the brightness, but the color as well, tied to the accent lights. So let's go take a look and show you high drives. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and engage FSD. And when I engage FSD, you're going to see those lights on the side. They're actually going to start changing colors. And that's how you know FSD is engaged. You'll have this nice pulsating light on both sides of the LED strip. That's just letting you know FSD is activated. So what's going to happen, you got a car coming up in my blind spot, and watch what happens to the light on the left side. There it goes. Yeah, but so the system is smart enough to know that, hey, you're sitting at a light, therefore, you're not going to get a blind spot warning. The moment you start moving, that's what a blind spot warning looks like. And if I were to put my signal on, it turns red. Then as soon as he moves out, it turns green. So there you have the LED hazard lights. They're actually a really great addition to the vehicle. And I really do believe they add a measure of safety that Tesla should have put in the vehicle. It makes the blind spot warning really obvious, and it makes your turn signals very obvious as well. So
Don't hesitate to put these in there. It's very simple, doesn't take very long to install, and as I said, it does enhance your safety. Don't forget to look in the description below to see how you can get a great discount on this particular product, other Tesla accessories. Like and subscribe and comment below and let me know what you think. And we'll talk to you again soon. Peace.